Yes guys, back with another video. I'm in a different setting. I'm just off one of the major cities in the northeast. It's very hot. So in the last video we talked about just vibing, okay, and how semen retention allows you to really be in your natural state. You have this natural game when it comes to interacting with females, and if you've done the work previously or continuously, your best self will pour out. Essentially, you don't have to use tricks and machinations in order to gain a female's attention. But I want to talk about what happens if you're not as consistent, or there's a blip in the road when it comes to retention. And so you've relapsed. Oh no. The world's collapsed around you, right? Right. And a lot of us enter thinking, I have to be perfect on this journey. And I want to say how you approach retention and how you approach relapse is going to shape the effects or maleffects when you essentially hit that blip in the road starting out. And if you have this in your mind that, wow, I'm going to receive a load of bad luck, I'm going to have social anxiety, all of these things are going to happen to me if I relapse, then it's going to happen because your mind has now constructed that reality. It's constructed a reality of, oh, perfection and bliss when I get to 30, 60, 90 days. And often we tend to wear these as badges of honor. Oh, 90-day retainer here, right? 400-day retainer here. And we are so caught up in the days. But what happens if you relapse, okay? What happens is what you perceive to happen on a relapse. So, like I said, if you think you're gonna get a load of bad luck, bad things are gonna happen, right? It's like you bring that into your sphere of influence because, again, your mind is all that matters. But the flip side, let's treat a relapse as a blip in the road being a long one and lasting until death, okay? So you're on this journey, you've been retaining for 2 months, you build up to 3 to 6 months. That's amazing. And so now in this period of time you've spent retaining your essence. One day for you should not derail the consistency that you've had during these 6 months. It's akin to a bank account, and you're acquiring more money. You're putting, let's say you're depositing, let's say £1,000 or dollars into it every month, and now you've got up to 100,000, and you dip in because you just need to. Let's say a relapse is an impulsive purchase, and again, it's something you think, ah, man, the moment it felt good, but after you begin to regret it. Do I really need that? And so you take out, let's say, 1,000 from that. Right? So you still have a surplus in the bank. You're not into your overdraft. And that's the way you should look at long-term retention. For those of you who are looking at interacting with females and then getting a partner, a wife, I think it's inevitable that sex is going to be a part of the equation, whether that be for child production or even for pleasure. We're human at the end of the day. And don't treat a relapse as the end of the world. Just treat it knowing that, well, long term, I'm consistently doing this. And if I have a blip once, it's not going to put me in the negative. It's not going to put me in the red. So I have 100,000 in the bank. I take out 1,000. That's my relapse. I'm still in the green and I continue. Look at athletes, for example. Athletes have the status, they have the money, they're highly publicized and highly coveted. We often associate athletes with groupies and fans, women, okay, who go after them, and we know they do bed a lot of women. But that being said, athletes still tend to have this aura. Some of you might say, well, yeah, David, it's because, of course, they have status and money, so that does help to boost their ego and give them that aura. Yes, true. But another thing is they're constantly regulating their dopamine levels. They're constantly exercising. So if they do get that spike in prolactin after sex, they're back in the gym the next day, or they're running. So a very simple tip for those of you, if you do relapse and you say, okay, I don't want to feel flat, go for a run straight away. Don't even waste time. Put on your pants, put on your shorts, just go for a run. It can be 1K, can be 2K, just to get that dopamine back up again. Okay, and then after, hit a cold shower. For those of you who are meditating, maybe 5 to 10 minute meditation session where you continue to terraform your mind if you're on the negative side of your thoughts on relapse, to say, man, I've relapsed, I'm having all these negative thoughts. Again, you're creating that. You've told yourself, I'm going to get bad luck. You're bringing that into your sphere of influence. And so work during your meditation sessions on saying, well, if I relapse, I understand that I'm doing this long term, okay? I'm consistent. I've been 6 months on this. If I have a blip once, it should not derail all the progress I've made. You shouldn't treat it as that. Life operates in ebbs and flows and dips, but imagine, again, a line graph. Our life is not meant to just be consistently going up with no dips, right? What you'll see is, okay, you go up, there's a slight dip, and it goes up again, maybe another dip, but it's always on an upward trajectory with periods where you might fall. And those periods are, or those slight inclines are when you relapse, but it's a continuous upward trajectory, okay? So treat it as such, and just think about athletes and how, yes, they have an abundance of women throwing themselves at them, but somehow they seem to maintain their aura. You might also say, well, they have compounds that they can use to regulate their testosterone, give them higher testosterone in certain sports. That may be also true. But I think exercise is a key component in regulating your dopamine levels. So don't just put all your eggs in one basket with regards to semen retention being you and what makes you. It's going to bring out the version that you have hidden within you. So if you're exercising, right, if you're fit, right, if you're consistently doing these things, okay, the impact of a relapse, okay, is not going to derail, let's say, 2 years of progress or even 6 months of progress. But I want to finish off with saying it's how you approach retention, how you perceive it here is going to be what is manifesting around you in the physical space, okay? Keep that in mind. So work on meditating to say, look, if I relapse, it's not a big deal, okay? Do not put everything on retention. You are more than that, okay? Fight Club, Tyler Dowden speaking to, forgot the other guy's name. He said, you're not your couch. You are not these appendages attached to you. Do not get attached to semen retention as the be-all and end-all of you, as if that's your personality. And if that's destroyed, you no longer exist. You need semen retention to talk to a woman. Go out and talk to people. Work on your confidence. Read about how to interact. Read on how to be more social. Okay, so semen retention should not be the be-all and end-all. It's a tool that can enhance you. Okay, bring out the best version of yourself. If you're in the gym, if you're running, you're consistent with these things. A relapse is going to be a small blip in your road of upward trajectory. That's all. That's all. Meditate on that. Ruminate, cogitate on these things. Work on, okay, repeating, even having a mantra saying, if I relapse, it's not the end of the world. If I relapse, I'm still in the green, right? Spermatogenesis has happened to me multiple times, so I have a surplus, right? So I can maybe dip into my bank account every now and then if I want to indulge, okay? For those of you that are experiencing maybe some negative thoughts, think on these things, okay? Have a mantra, repeat, okay, it's a blip in the road, but I'm always working upwards. I have this consistency that I'm working towards. So a dip every now and then, and don't confuse when I say relapse with regards to corn. I'm talking about a relapse with a real person, with a real woman, okay? Nothing digital, because we don't do that here, okay? We already know the destructive impacts of what I just mentioned before. Don't count the days, guys. Make the days count. Until next time.